What's going on, guys? David here, and today I'm gonna be vlogging. Ah, it's a cloudy day. Well, I guess I could play some video games. Well, I guess not, because it's gonna take 3 hours to upload that video. Well, I guess there's only one thing to do, and that's to shoot a tutorial. Let's go, guys. Alrighty, guys. I guess this is my first official tutorial that I'm gonna be doing. Sorry if my room's not YouTube ready. I've been really busy the last couple of weeks. I recently quit one of my other jobs. I got promoted to my other job. Been doing a lot of stuff on the side as well. I had an event last weekend. It's been hectic, so I do apologize for my random YouTube schedule. But today I'm actually excited because I get to show you guys how to edit photos in Lightroom. This is just super basic, so if you're just starting out, it's great to follow along or learn, or if you've been curious about Lightroom. I do get a lot of people asking me like, hey, how do you edit your pictures? So this is going to be a super impromptu, quick little tutorial. I'm not going to go into all the details, just the bare basics. So let's go ahead and open up Lightroom. Always takes forever. Okay, so once you start Lightroom, this is a picture of my friend Chris. You're not going to see that there. So let's go ahead and import the pictures that I have on my desktop. You know, this is just for the sake of the example. So let's go to desktop, and it's automatically going to highlight all the new pictures. Typically, it'll highlight stuff that you don't want, so just make sure to go in there and check everything off. So once you got the pictures you want, hit enter. It's going to import them into your library. So the library is essentially what it sounds like. It's an overview of all the stuff that you have imported. Then if you want to start developing them, click the develop module. So this is where you start processing everything. I usually like to go through all the pictures and press P to flag them, flag as pick. And I like this shot, I like that shot, that shot. So once you go ahead and do all that to the pictures that you want to use, head down here to where it says filter, go to flagged. Now it's going to show the ones that are currently flagged as pick, and start editing. So over here you have your basic adjustments. I personally like to have my profile set to color just because I like to have colors pop, but you could choose it for whatever type of photos you're using. So if you're editing portraits, landscapes, etc. So for the sake of the example, it's going to be there. So we're not going to mess around with the temperature just yet. So right here, these are your basic adjustments: exposure, contrast, highlights, shadows, whites, and blacks. So just start playing around with them until you find something that you like. So I like to usually bring down the highlights, a little bit of the exposure, boost the shadows. And mind you, there's no right or wrong way to edit a picture, because everyone has different preferences. But typically, always start with the basic adjustments, like your exposure and whatnot, so you kind of have a nice base of, a nice base where to start. So let's go ahead and do that. That looks good. Now let's go down here to vibrance, boost that a little bit. Saturation, let's make it a 5. And clarity. And so let's go to the next one. This one's kind of dark and crooked. So in order to straighten it out, just hit R on your keyboard, hit auto, hit enter, it straightens it out. Now it looks good. So let's go back and mess with the adjustments, boost the shadows, bring the highlights a little bit because I want to see those clouds off in the distance. A little bit of contrast. So since this picture was taken during sunset, let's boost my temperature a little bit more to the warmer side to kind of give it a nice warm tone. That looks good. And let's boost my vibrance a little bit and my saturation. Okay, and that's pretty much it. So let's go to the next one. That one is pretty much the same as the one before. So here's a cool trick. If you have multiple pictures of the same image taken either close up or far out, click the image that you previously worked on and then command click, or I think it's control click on PC, and go over here to your sync button. Click sync and just make sure everything's checked that you want checked. So lens corrections, all that, crop angle, etc. So hit sync, and it's going to copy the settings from that previous picture to this one. So this is what it looks like now. So it looks pretty good. I think I could brighten it a little bit more. That looks good. So it's really handy, especially if you're doing something like weddings where you have a lot of pictures that you want to batch edit quickly, whether it be because they're all exposed similarly. I can't talk today, I haven't had coffee. Or you know, you're pressed for time and you just got to get them quickly out to the client so they can have something to look at, kind of like a sample. Then that's really handy as well. So this one's really overexposed, or well, at least my sky is. So let's go ahead and bring down the highlights a little bit, bring down the exposure just a tad, boost my shadows. So that looks a lot better. Maybe bring down my blacks a little bit, and let's mess with the color temp a little bit. There we go. This one looks good. This one looks really dark, so let's go ahead and boost. So anytime you take a picture, make sure you're shooting in RAW, because if you shoot in RAW, you have the raw data from the camera's sensor that wrote the picture, and you're able to manipulate it a lot more than if it were, say, be a JPEG. JPEGs are compressed, and you essentially let the camera decide what it wants to save. So for instance, like how this picture was really dark, let's go ahead and reset it. If this was shot in JPEG, I wouldn't be able to boost the shadows this high and my exposure this high to essentially get some of the clarity back, or bring down my highlights, because all that information would be removed because it'd be blown out. And again, with JPEGs, you don't really have a lot of data to play with. So it's always important to shoot RAW. If you don't have a computer that could handle something like Lightroom, which I think almost everything nowadays can handle it, still shoot RAW, plus JPEG, because it lets you do that in most cameras. And then just save the RAW files until you have a computer that could let you edit them. That way you could go back, you know, let's say 6 months from now and mess with the pictures again, and you'll be like, oh my god, they look so much better than they did 6 months ago. So that's relatively it as far as tutorials. I'm not going to really touch upon the clarity and dehaze just yet. Maybe I'll come up with a more advanced tutorial. Again, this is really just for you if you're starting out and you want some basic understanding on Lightroom. Again, there's no right or wrong way to edit a picture, because there is so many people out there that are doing tutorials, and there's so many rules that you can learn when it comes to editing a picture. However, it really boils down to what kind of preference you want. If you like your pictures to be super contrasty, go ahead and do that. If you like your pictures to be very overexposed, do that. It boils down to you, because you're the creative. You do what you want to do. But let me show you a way how I usually, like, I guess my artistic way of doing it. So I come down here and I have presets, which I will cover in a separate video, and I want to make my picture pop out a little bit more. So let's go with my hazy color preset, and that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is a very impromptu tutorial for me, and again, I apologize if my room's not completely ready for YouTube stuff, but I just wanted to make a video today just because I haven't had the time to, and I felt that recently more and more people have been asking me how to edit pictures. So I hope this kind of helps you understand some of the basics when it comes to editing a picture. I'll probably go in more into a, like, I guess, long form video editing tutorial thingamajig. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you really enjoyed this video or found it helpful, give it a thumbs up. If you aren't already subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. I am going to be trying to update as often as I can. I have had a hectic schedule, so I apologize if I haven't been vlogging and all that. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one, so thanks for watching. Peace!